Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Monday, the 23rd of January 2023. A hell of a lot going on today, so get ready, strap yourselves in, and here we go. We start off with more signings from Millwall. Not a new signing, not a new player coming in. Three players are already here extending their deals. The goalkeepers, all of them. Kind of weird. Why would you do all the goalkeeping deals on the same day? I don't know. The club does things kind of strange sometimes. But here we go. So this is from millwallfc.co.uk. Goalkeeping trio signed new Millwall contracts. Millwall Football Club is delighted to announce that George Long, Bartosz Bialkowski and Truman, exactly, have all signed new contracts at the Den. Bialkowski and Long pen deals to keep them in SC16 for the foreseeable future, whilst Truman will remain in South London until the end of the 22-23 season. For this season. So here we go. Long has made 18 appearances for Gary outside this season, having wrestled the position between the sticks into his grasp for the 2-1 win over Blackpool on the 17th of September 2022. The 29-year-old has 7 clean sheets to his name in 22-23 and will hope to add to that record across the remainder of the campaign. Bialkowski, meanwhile, has made 154 appearances for the club since joining in the summer of 2019, initially on loan, and became the Lions Player of the Season in 2 consecutive years, 1920 and 2021, before backing those up with a third place finish in 21-22 in his first full campaign with the club. Bart amassed 16 clean sheets to share the Sky Bet Championship's Golden Glove award with Brentford's David Raya. The stopper puts pen to paper to continue his journey with the Lions and extend their healthy battle with Long for their number 1 spot. Truman joined the Lions on a short-term deal until January, so now in August 2022, but has now extended that contract until the end of this season. The former Birmingham City stopper has featured for the under-21s during his time at the club and has formed an important part of the goalkeeping setup. Stay tuned to millwallfc.co.uk to hear from Rowett as the Lions secure the signatures of all 3 goalkeepers. So there you go, interesting stuff. Why were they all done on the same day? I don't know. Kind of weird, but there you go. So it looks like, obviously, they don't mention the length of the contracts now. I would assume at least George Long and Bialkowski another season, at least. Maybe another one. I believe Long had an option, so maybe the club just exercised that option. They didn't even need to get his permission, I guess. If the option, like, you agree to the deal when you sign the initial contract with the option added on, and so the clauses just triggered the option. But yeah, and Bialkowski staying as well. There were some rumours that he might be leaving, but no, staying around. So at least for 1 more season. And it looks like he might be the number 2, which is not a bad number 2 to have, is it? Not a bad number 2 to have at all. Probably could have got a fair bit of money just being a number 3 or a number 4 at a Premier League team, and he probably didn't even need to leave London because you got your Fulham, you got Chelsea, you got Arsenal, West Ham, Crystal Palace, all in the Premier League, and they have quite deep squads, going all the way. Some of them going all the way down to 4 very good goalkeepers. He could have got a fair bit of money and an easier life just becoming a 4th choice or 3rd choice goalkeeper at one of those Premier League teams. But staying around with Millwall, so fair play to him. Fair play. There you go. Now moving on to a player that we've been linked with. We've been linked with another player with one of these kind of clickbait sites, so let's get into that. I think it's a bit of nonsense, to be honest. Yeah, so here we go. This is from the 72.co.uk. Exclusive, apparently. Millwall, Stoke City, Swansea City, all keen on Serie A striker Sydney van Hooijdonk. Millwall, Stoke City and Swansea City are among the sides interested in Dutch striker Sydney van Hooijdonk. The 72 has been told. Van Hooijdonk, 32, currently plays for Eredivisie side Heerenveen, on loan from Serie A side Bologna. He scored 7 goals in 18 appearances in all competitions this season, having scored 7 in 15 on loan with the club during the second half of last season too. But the 72 has been told that there are several teams in England and around Europe keen on the youngster, with Millwall, Stoke City and Swansea City among the Championship sides keen on Van Hooijdonk, who is keen on a move to England. Van Hooijdonk is likely to be available for a loan move, but Bologna could include an option to buy should any club sign him on loan. The move could materialise in the final week of this month's transfer window, but a summer move is also a possibility. Van Hooijdonk is out of contract at Bologna in 2025. So that's 2 years away. Mill currently sitting 8th, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah. There you go. Now, Sydney van Hooijdonk is the son of Pierre van Hooijdonk. That's him there, remember him? Played for Celtic, scored a lot of goals for Celtic, played for Nottingham Forest as well, and famously went on strike because he was told if he got them promoted then he could leave on a transfer. And then they said, yeah, no, actually no. But yeah, now you see him there, Pierre van Hooijdonk, right? Have a look and see what his son looks like. His son is the most Caucasian looking motherfucker you've ever seen. Look at that. Blonde hair, blue eyed, Caucasian looking boy you've ever seen. Strange how genetics works, isn't it? But so this is a weird one. Why is this a weird one? Well, because we've got 3 stories from the Sun, basically year by year by year, saying the same thing, that he's trying to get moved to England, he's trying to get moved to England, he's trying to get moved to England. And yet, he's still not here. So, this is the current one from the 23rd of January, so today. They basically repeating the story. They've got as an exclusive for themselves as well. So whose exclusive is it? Is it the 72s or is it the Suns? Pierre van Hooijdonk's son, Sydney, wanted by 4 championship clubs. Bologna striker targets transfer to England. And yeah, but they say Cardiff and Millwall. Cardiff haven't got a pot to piss in. They paid for a player who died, and they had to pay the transfer fee. Now they're suing the insurers for the money back. Cardiff not involved in this. So what did they say there? I forgot what they. So they said Millwall, Stoke, Swansea, and the Sun are saying Stoke, Swansea, Cardiff, and Millwall. Okay. Clubs in the Netherlands and Belgium are also monitoring Van Hooijdonk's situation. Van Hooijdonk is contracted. Yeah, we've heard all this. We've heard all that. But Van Hooijdonk is now keen on a move to England with a loan for the January transfer window. It is likely that they will play out. We've heard that. Forest and Sheffield Wednesday previously looked at Van Hooijdonk Jr. But again, that didn't happen. Forest have also already added to their squad with Chris Wood. So yeah, but like I said, so this is the story from thesun.co.uk today, 2023. Check out the date, 23rd of January 2023. And we go back to this one with the picture I'll show you from December 2020. Pierre van Hooijdonk's son, Sydney, set for championship transfer with dad's old club, Nottingham Forest, interested. Blah blah blah. Could be on the way back to English football. Might even end up in Nottingham Forest. He was 20 years old then. He's a clause in his contract allowing him to leave his club Breda on a free transfer in the new year, January transfer window. He's refused to extend his deal and is now looking for a career in England, which has alerted a number of championship clubs. And then they say Forest, Swansea City, and Sheffield Wednesday. He scored 8 times and provided 2 assists in the Dutch second tier. 6'3", not bad. Scored 15 goals from 22 starts. This is in the Dutch second tier for Breda and AC Breda, providing 4 assists in all. He had a remarkable rise through the youth ranks at the club, where his father also enjoyed 2 spells. Sydney scored 35 times in 41 appearances for the under-18s before breaking into the first team squad. It was in England's football's second tier where Van Hooijdonk Senior scored 29 goals in 42 league games before Forest back into the top flight in the first attempt, 1997-98. He also went on strike at the following season when Forest refused to sell him, and then they go into all talking about his old man. So that is it. So like I said, so this is from 2020. He wants to move to England. Didn't happen, mate. Now, here we go again. The Sun.co.uk. We go again. This is from the 26th of January, 2021. Pierre van Hooijdonk's son Sydney dreams of starring in British football like famous dad dashed by Brexit. He's seen his dreams of copying his dad and starring in British football dashed by Brexit. The Brader striker, 20 son of blah blah blah. You've heard all that. Forest and Sheffield Wednesday were ready to make an offer with Van Hooijdonk available for 3 plus a settlement fee. But the chance of following his father has been scuppered following new Brexit rules this month, with a stricter point system to bring in players from the European Union introduced. Instead, Van Hooijdonk is set to make the switch to Germany, with several Bundesliga clubs interested. A highly rated forward has scored 12 goals this season, with Breda fourth in the Dutch second tier. European players are now treated like non-EU players, blah blah blah. I've made a couple of videos about this, the point system that's involved. Basically, because he's playing for the Dutch second tier, that doesn't count. You need to play in one. I think there's like 5. They work it out based on like either the FIFA rankings or the UEFA coefficient in terms of the top leagues. So Serie A will be a top league. There are several leagues across Europe that are top leagues, and then the ones underneath you get less points. So if you play in Italy, France, Germany, I'm not sure if Eredivisie is in the top tier. I think it might be. If you play in any of those leagues for a club and it's a club that does well, so if they get into European competition, you get more points, and you need to get 15 to get an automatic visa. You can get a visa if you don't get enough points, which, to be honest, I think he would. I mean, in terms of like, he has family connections to the country. His dad used to work here, so I can't see why. Like, you've got tons and tons of people arriving every day on boats, and they're not going to give this guy a work permit with the connections he has to this country. But probably, I don't know how it works, but yeah. And then you can see here about they go on about the point system and all that. So yeah, he's been trying to get to this country for a while now. Every year there's a story in the Sun. I don't know is it the same guy. So there's Phil Cadden, Neil Custis, Phil Cadden. So interesting stuff there, isn't it? But is he any good though? Is he any good? Well, so as we've just seen, he's trying to come to England. Trying to come to England. They said he might end up in Bundesliga. Where did he end up? No, he went to Serie A, Bologna. So this is him now. This is his page on whoscored.com. Playing for SC Eleven. 22 years old. Birthday next week. So he's going to be 23. Actually, next week. Not bad. So here he is. 6 goals in 16 starts in the Eredivisie. 1 assist. 2.8 shots per game. So certainly has a go. And aerials won 2.4. Now, if we're going to put a package worth £3 million for Lyndon Dykes, this is probably going to be more of a. This is if we could get this lad for £3 million. I mean, it's certainly something. He's got the pedigree. He's the son of a very good player. He seems to be coming on himself. He's only 23 years old. Isn't Lyndon Dykes like 27, 28? So you've got that there. If we can get him for as low as £3 million package of £3 million, I mean, why not? So he's rating this season 6.83, like we've seen, 6 goals in 16 appearances. His strengths are headed attempts and holding onto the ball. Nice. Weaknesses are defensive contribution. He likes to do layoffs and he does not dive into tackles. Okay. So let's have a look at his matches so far this season. Here we go. Match history for this year. Actually going all the way back from 21. Don't know why. So obviously playing for Breda there. This is the, what is that? The playoff. This is, they have playoffs, I think, to determine whether a team gets promoted. So they have the bottom teams in the top tier playing the top teams in the second tier, that kind of thing. They do leagues weirdly around the world. That's how they do it. So it looks like he played. He scored 1 goal. He played 29 minutes in the 2-1 defeat to Nijmegen. Oh. If we look here, so he left Breda, went to Bologna. He played a couple of games in Bologna. We'll get into that later. But he's come back to Heerenveen on loan. And this is what he's done there on loan. He scored a hat-trick against Vitesse Arnhem. Only 79 minutes on the pitch there. 79 minutes, he got a hat-trick. 9.67 rating. Against Feyenoord. So, in terms of the Eredivisie, you got, what, Feyenoord, Ajax, and Eindhoven. The best teams, and then everyone else is much of a muchness. But against Feyenoord, 63 minutes, 6.22. Against Ajax, they lost 5-0. And they got 5.87, so that's good. Where else are we? That was it. All of his other games seem to be against all the other teams in the league. He got a goal and an assist in the 3-1 victory over Volendam. 8.77 rating. So he does have the odd game where his ratings dip just under 6. Got 5.95 against Go Ahead Eagles, 5.98 against AZ Alkmaar, and as we've seen, the 5.87 in the 5-0 thrashing away in Amsterdam against Ajax. So there you go. He scored in the defeat to Utrecht. Scored a goal there. So he actually scored against Zion Fleming's former team, Fortuna Sittard. Scored a goal. So yeah, that's his match history so far this season. He's actually still playing. He played a couple of days. He played at the weekend. So Heerenveen, I don't know if you wanna. Is the Eredivisie is it on BT Sport or is it on Sky? Is it on any channels? Maybe you can go and check him out. In terms of playing games, maybe you can see the highlights for that game. But he only played 20 minutes. He's not been playing recently, which is kind of weird. Maybe they've been told that he's looking to leave, so they put him on the subs bench. I don't know, kind of weird. But so that's actually not bad. He played 20 minutes in that match and got a rating of 6.54. So that's quite a high rating for a sub, only on the pitch for 20 minutes. So let's have a look. Sydney van Hooijdonk. Here we go. Started out Breda, as we've seen. Didn't start for them actually. Only had 12 sub appearances, 140 minutes. Didn't score. So you'd think there is a season missing though. There is 1920 season missing. I don't know what is up with this website because it happened before. There was a season missing when I looked at this before in another player. But we do have the season for Heerenveen. 15 starts, 21-22. 7 goals, 1 assist, 1.7 shots per game, and 2.7 aerials won. Got man of the match, 6.05 rating. Goes to Bologna in Serie A. Has 4 substitute appearances. Only plays 35 minutes. And it's a 35 minutes spread over 4 games. That's practically nothing. So it seems to be a token signing by them. It's like an investment or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So they signed him to get him out of there, Dutchland, because he wanted to leave there. All very weird. All very weird. Right. Yeah. So he goes to Bologna. Doesn't really play. But here's the thing. So now he's at a Serie A team. So that would help him. Although he's not playing for them, so you really do actually need to get some minutes on the pitch for them. In terms of getting points to be able to get a UK visa. Now he goes back to Eredivisie. Now I don't know, maybe the Eredivisie got promoted into one of the top leagues. So now if he goes back there and plays, it'll probably help him towards his work permit in England. But he goes back there. 6 goals in 16 starts. Sorry about that. Right. 6 goals in 16 starts. Basically, this is where he's left off. He's carried on. But look at the shots per game. A massive improvement there. So he's obviously something he's been working on about getting shots away. Because he's gone from 1.7 per game when he was at Eredivisie. He's at the same club. Now it's up to 2.8. So he's obviously learning a few things, figuring a few things out. He looks like he's open to coaching, or he's just figuring them out himself. Still with the aerials, 2.4, 1 per game, which is not bad. Does seem to be a player who would suit our style. So yeah. Well, we will see. It just seems to be nonsense though. Like, it's one of these that are so stupid and annoying. They name a player and they name literally a quarter of the championship in terms of the teams. It's normally Middlesbrough. It's Millwall Middlesbrough are looking at this player. And they just name all these championship teams based on what? On nothing. On literally nothing. Maybe the agents emailed them and they're like, okay, the clubs have responded, send us more information or give us a call on this number. And that's like, oh yeah, they're interested. They're just responding to your email. Maybe it's something basic as that. He does seem to be a decent lad in terms of footballing stuff. But not only that, so if you've got 2 Dutch up front, you've got Zion Fleming and you've got Sydney van Hooijdonk, they can speak Dutch to each other like this. Yeah, exactly, see? Yeah, but again, strange one. Kind of weird because apparently he's been trying to come to England every year. How long was his contract at Breda? Why didn't he just let that run out? And then maybe he did try to come to England. Can you apply for a work permit if you don't have a job? Maybe he did try to apply for a work permit. Or maybe he knew he wouldn't get it, so then he didn't bother to come to England. But we will see. Have things changed? Can he get work permit? I don't see how he can't with the links to his dad, who used to work here. So I don't know. Now, moving on from that, players that we're not going to sign and have no chance of signing. Moving on from all that stuff. You can bid on a match-worn Millwall shirt. It's back. Do you remember this from the Poppy Gate? When it's back, you can bid on a match-worn Millwall shirt from the Cardiff game. I don't know why it says match-worn Poppy shirts. Not because the money is going to the Royal British Legion, but they weren't poppies on the shirts, I don't think. Match-worn shirts from Millwall's game with Cardiff City are now up for auction. Supporters can bid on the shirts worn by their heroes. Perhaps George Long's goalkeeping shirt takes your fancy. Or maybe Zion Fleming's top is the one for you. You can place your bid on any of the starting 11 plus substitutes. To view the shirts and make your bid, click on the link below. Auctions close at 2 PM on Saturday, 28th of January. So you've got the rest of this week. And let's have a look who's in the lead. So here we go. So this So the website is matchwornshirt.com, and you can just go on there and search for Millwall. And it's Cardiff versus Millwall. Bidding closes in 4 days and 13 hours. And in the lead, is it Zion Fleming? No, actually. Oh, Zion Fleming's up there. It's £414. But in the lead so far is Tom Bradshaw with 459. Interesting, because I guess because he scored the goal, that's something on that. Next we've got we got Danny McNamara 257, Billy Mitchell 233, Jake Cooper 214. We've got 2 match issued shirts. The 2 subs that didn't play, Bialkowski and Roman Essay. That's up to 100. That's at 124. That's not bad, is it? I might bid it if it stays like that. I might put a bid in myself. 125. Why not? But yeah, there you go. I believe all the money is going to the Poppy Appeal. I thought it said it here. It doesn't. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know where it's going. But yeah, it doesn't say. So I assume it's the Poppy Appeal. Might not be. Might be on Millwall Community Trust. Might be the Lions Food Hub. Might be the club themselves because they need them. Maybe this is how they get the transfer funds to pay for all the transfers that you want. They sell the shirts to you. Why not? Maybe they'll do it for the next game as well. Although we don't play until after the transfer is closed. So that'll be a bit of a lost mission. So let's move on now. Still talking about the game. We're talking about the shirts from the game. Let's talk about the game. Still carrying on a Monday because see we don't have a game this week. Our next game is in 2 weeks' time on the 4th against Sunderland at home. So I think they're kind of dragging out stuff from the weekend. So this is from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall's takeaways from 1-0 win at Cardiff. Bradshaw's graft and goals appreciated. This championship playoff chase set to be a thriller again. This is from, like I said, the South London Press. Millwall secured their 4th away victory of the season as Tom Bradshaw's first half strike was enough to earn a first ever victory at the Cardiff City Stadium and a first league double over the Bluebirds since the 1974-1975 season. Both sides were in the old Division 2. Not bad. Here are Alex Grace's takeaways from the contest. Let's see if my voice can survive this rain here. So I'm just going to take a drink actually. Oh, bored. Brad is back in the goals. It was just his 3rd goal in the last 12 games, but Bradshaw gives so much more to this side than just scoring. He started 14 in the last 15 championship games. It's been having to keep going. The lines are very short in the strike department. Benekafebe leaving the club this month. Bradshaw now the only recognised striker at the end. His work rate and effort are like that of a former Millwall favourite, Lee Gregory. Both players who run and are prepared to sacrifice their goal tally to help the team. It was incredible work ethic and perseverance that led to this goal. After a poor clearance, Jake Cooper picked the ball up and fed it into the Cardiff box. Cedric Keeper thought he had a lot more time to deal with Brett, but the menace that is Bradshaw seized on the defender's hesitancy to sneak in and put the ball in the net. He took his tally to 7 for the season and make it 3 goals in 3 games. Obviously, the Lions need to strengthen in those attacking areas, but in a former Barnsley striker, they have someone who will nick goals. The importance of the first goal is evident again. Yes, it is often said how important it is to score the first goal in a game. You hear managers talking about how key it is to get your nose in front in a championship game. The hypothesis has been proven to be correct, particularly with Millwall. Counting the victory in South Wales, it's the 10th time that Millwall take the lead in the league this season, and they've gone on to win every single one of those games. The Lions have won 12 games this campaign, meaning they have come from behind to win just twice. Both of those wins came at the Den against Coventry and West Brom. Millwall do not score many goals. Equally, they don't concede many either, which makes that first goal so important from Rowett's side. Yes. I saw a graphic that there's only 2 teams in the whole of the Football League who have gone on to win every game that they took the lead in. One of them is Millwall, and the other is Doncaster in League One, I believe. Just those 2 teams. So that's something special, man. That's kind of crazy. Captain leads by example. Sean Hutchinson is a rock at the back. We've known that for several years. He was hugely important at the back in the second half in Wales. Cardiff started the half with real intent and created several opportunities. Hutchinson led the defence superbly alongside his centre half partner Cooper, and they blocked and cleared everything that came into their box. It's that level of grit and determination that they will need when they come up against those sides who have the greater quality. February is a very hard month for the Lions, with games against Sunderland, QPR, Sheffield United and Burnley all to come. The leadership from the captain will be vital in those strict tests to come. They're still in the playoff hunt. I say this every year, but the Championship playoff race is once again proven to be one of the best in recent history. Millwall are 8th in the table, 2 points off 3rd place, with a game in hand. Win that game in hand at Luton, they will rise as high as 3rd. Middlesbrough, Watford and Blackburn all failed to win this weekend, leaving just 3 points separating Watford in 3rd and West Brom in 10th. It's impossible to predict what will happen in the Championship. However, the one thing you can predict is that whatever happens, it will be full of drama. Yes, it's like I said, it's like snakes and ladders. You win a home game, you go up a ladder, then the next week you're playing away, you you lose and you go down a snake. It's kind of crazy. Not only that, Blackburn, they drew. They finally did it. They finally drew. They've got something like 14 wins and 13 defeats, and had 0 draws. They actually drew the first game of the season. Kind of crazy. But there you go. So there's your takeaways from the South London Press. Now moving on to this from the South London Press, London News Online.co.uk as well. Millwall boss had been toying with tactical change for a while, as he admits one thing he doesn't like to see. Gary Rowett has revealed that he and his staff have been contemplating changing to a back five during games in recent weeks. The Lion boss opted to change formation from a 4-2-3-1 to a 3-5-2 and later a 5-4-1 as his side battled their way to a 1-0 win against Cardiff City on Saturday to keep in touch with the Championship playoffs. I spoke to the staff about it, said Rowett. I just felt the last 3 or 4 games you might need to put that into practice at some point. You get the feeling as a manager when you might need it. Oh, I can't do it. It's messing up my throat. I can't do it. Today, we just seemed to struggle with the gaps between our back four. There were a couple of decisions in the final moments of defending where we step in and we don't need to step in, and we gave them space. I'm the type of manager who doesn't like seeing the opposition players in lots of space. It feels like a lack of control. I nearly did it at half time, but early in the second half, we decided to change it. I knew Lenny at some point would go into midfield, so I decided to put Lenny on first, knowing I could put Cressy on and shift Lenny if we needed to. I felt we needed to be as mobile as we could in those areas because that was the area just in front of our right side where they were causing us 1 or 2 problems. We went 5-3-2 and then we went 5-4-1. The only thing I didn't do was go 5-5-0 because we didn't have any other players left. We did what we had to do today. It was never a game we were going to change it with quality. It was always whether we could be organised enough to stop them scoring. There was a good turnout from Millwall fans in South Wales, more than 1,200 supporters making a trip down the M4. Rowett was pleased to send them all home that day. We lost too many games away from home, he said. I know that always tends to be the flip when you're at Millwall and our home form is so strong. But our fans have travelled in big numbers. They've backed the team. We've had some moments to show for it. The Preston game, the Bristol game, and the Watford game. It's nice to add another one to that because there's nothing better than an away win. There's nothing better than that feeling of pinching 3 points on the road and sending your fans home on the train with a few beers and a little bit happier than perhaps They are if they spent their hard-earned money, and we had lost. Indeed, thank you very much, Mr. Gary Rowett. Well done on the formation changes. Now, carrying on, which last piece now, finally, it's a day late, but here it is. This is the XG timeline for the game on Saturday. You can see how many chances they had. But not very good chances. Cardiff and the light blue line were for some reason black, even though we played in yellow. But you can see they had a really good chance in the 15th minute, and then straight after, our really good chance, our best chance of the game is the goal. Boom, that's it. And then they have constant chances, but they're little. They're like little staircases. Which is not good. You want a staircase, but you want a bigger and better staircase than that. That's kind of a little one, not very good. But you can see the start of the second half, we come out, we're kind of holding back a bit. We don't really go forward until the 60th minute, with our first shot in the second half. Obviously, we're trying to see what's happened, how they're playing it, but they keep coming, and we kind of keep matching them till around about when the subs start happening, formation changes. We have from what is that like the 73rd minute, we only have another one chance on goal. Pretty decent one at the end. But other than that, after that chance, in roughly probably the 79th minute, we seeing out the game. It's a flat line, and that's it. We saw out the game, and we did it, and we won. But you can see the XG. Cardiff's was 1.8, Millwall's was 1.8. So there you go. So that's it for that. Let's move on from that game. So, Millwall boss believes trio moved in transfer window can work their way back up the football pyramid. This is also from londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall manager Gary Rowett reckons that B-side top legend has attributes to work his way back up the leagues after the young defender's permanent exit last week. The 21-year-old defender signed for Bromley in an undisclosed deal. We did get a fee for him. The Lions have trimmed some of the fringe players in their squad, after also allowing Hayden Muller to sign for Dundalk. There comes a point when they are paid to play football, and that's what they want to do. Rowett told the South London Press. That is their passion as young boys to be professional footballer. There is only so long you can keep them at a club. And once players get to 20, 21, if they're not in the first team playing regular football, then you have to give them that opportunity to go out and start their careers. Bez is no different. He's a talented player. You saw that in the season. He's a talented player, lovely on the ball. Probably just needs to go out and become more durable. Learn what it is to have 3 points on the line when you're defending every game. He has got the qualities, like Hayden, from a club perspective. The key is to let them go and play and let them start their careers elsewhere. But also protect ourselves a little bit if they do well. It's that fine line. I believe they will both, along with Tanto, have really good careers. It wouldn't surprise me if they got back to this level, but they need games to do that, and at the moment we can't offer them that. We have to let someone else take that place. So there you go. Exactly. This is what I was saying. So it was an under 23s team, the youth team. They bumped it down to under 21. So now, when you get to 2021, if you're not there, if you're not on the fringes, if you're not ready to take a place on the first team subs bench, or even in the first team, you're probably going to have to look to move on. You kind of look to do it yourself, rather than wait to be kicked out. Like you should really know. Like, okay, I don't think this is going to work out. Let's tell my agent and tell him to get a club here, there, or anywhere, and move on and work it out yourself. But we will see. So we're moving on to this, which is a couple of days old, but I've only just found it. This is from the Irish Sun. The Irish Sun. Do they have the sun in Ireland? I thought it rained all the time. So the website for this is thesun.ie, the Irish Sun. Name check: Mill star Danny McNamara, hoping to make Ireland breakthrough in 2023, so long as he gets Stephen Kenny's back in. So we've got an interview here with Danny and the Irish Sun, Owen Koza. From yesterday actually. From yesterday, so Sunday. So the Irish Sun on Sunday. Danny McNamara is ready to take off with Ireland. He just needs the okay from Stephen Kenny in the control tower. The Millwall Ace was one of 4 players name checked by Kenny a year ago. Someone on the fringes of his squad who could break in during 2022. But 12 months on, he remains on the outskirts. Mark Sykes and Conor Rohan were 2 called up, while he and Marcus Harness have had to wait. McNamara knows what Kenny meant, what he said. Emails regularly arrive at Millwall informing him that he is on standby. So far, that is as close as the defender has got to adding to his 2 under-21 caps. Asked him how he deals with being in the departure lounge but not yet on the plane, he laughed, "I've left my passport indoors, basically." Oh, God. Stephen did let me know I was on standby. I've been on standby for pretty much all of the squads the last year. I was a bit gutted not to get called up. To be honest, I thought I'd played really well. But it's a competitive squad, really good squad, and at the moment in the fullback area, you've got a lot of really great players, so I can't complain. I was still gutted, but hopefully that time will come. So what we're talking about, is it 28 player squads? So you'll be, player 29, player 20, 30? Interesting, okay. Obviously Stephen has to pick the squad and he's got to do what he's got to do. So I've got to continue performing well to put myself in the window where he will call me up. Then I can show I think I can play for Ireland. The Kent-born star, his grandparents are from Edgeworthstown in County Longford, has already got the rundown on what it's like in the squad from former under-21 pals in the squad. He added, I know quite a few in there: Jason Malumbi, Troy Power, Nathan Collins, Michael Obafemi, Gavin Bazunu, Kelleher, Dara O'Shea. If I get called up, I think I'll fit in. It would be nice to meet the senior players like Seamus Coleman as well, but the only way I can do that is play well for Millwall. With the Lions, he reckons he's playing better now than ever at the club since he was 15. The 24-year-old has returned from loan spells at Newport County and St Johnstone, but now down a regular spot in the past 18 months. It led to a new contract in August. QPR were also interested, and he was very briefly left out of the side as the final deal was ironed out. Since then, he has been ever present when fit as a den man. When the den men have pushed the fringes of the promotion race. McNamara said, I signed a new contract, but there was a little while to sort out personal stuff, but it got sorted, so I can now crack on and keep doing what I'm doing. My performances have been good and we've done well as a collective, but we're sitting nicely in the table, but the championship was always tight, so you can never ever think you're going to go in well. You have to do it week on week, but we're in a good place and I'm feeling confident. I've got a lot of games now. I feel like one of the more experienced players, and I want to push on to the next level. He hopes it is sooner rather than later as he looks ahead to Ireland's game with Latvia and France in March. Indeed. Well, what can you say? I mean, he has been playing well for Millwall, but he probably needs a bit of luck in terms of injuries to other players for him to get in there. And once he gets there, he can show them personally what he can do, and then they might see for themselves and think, okay, he's someone we should have around. Until then, you just need that little bit of luck to get in there, it seems, but we'll wait and see about that. Now, obviously Monday, so we're going to do, we're coming up to 45 minutes on the video, going on long because I was prattling on about Sydney van Hooijdonk, but we've got the Loanwatch and we've got the under-18s playing a blinder. So back to millwallfc.co.uk for this. With B-side topology probably confirmed, Mill's lone trio became a duo this past weekend. Maidstone United and Johnson were in action. The only one of the two in action was Shamar Lawson, who played 59 minutes for Maidstone United's 3-2 home defeat for Wrexham in the Vanarama National League. Goals from Luke Young and a Paul Mullin penalty kick saw Lawson part the field at 2-0 down, but a quick-fire double from Jack Barham put the Stones level in the latter stages. Aaron Hayden, however, scored a 90th minute there to break host's hearts. Elsewhere, Alex Mitchell was an unused substitute as St Johnstone were knocked out of the Scottish FA Cup at the fourth round stage by Rangers, who were 1-0 winners at McNamara Park. Born at Barisic notched a second half winner to put the Jersey into round 5. And we've got some games coming up. We've got Shamar Lawson on Tuesday, so home game Maidstone versus Aldershot Town. Will that survive the weather? Who knows? We've got Alex Mitchell. Will he play or will he be an unused substitute again? Away at Rangers, this time in the league, on Saturday. So we'll wait and see and how they get on. Now, under 18s. They don't normally cover the under 18s. I understand why. There's safeguarding issues and you don't want to become a little big-headed and get an ego at that age. But here we go. They're actually they beat the table topping Charlton. So they went to Charlton and they beat them 2-0, which is a good result because Charlton are top of the table. Well, they still are. Yeah. Laquia Coleman and Henry Hearn penalty were on target as the Lions defeated the tabletop and had excellent on their own patch. The Mill got off to a powerful start and following their immense pressure on the Charlton 18-yard box in the opening minutes created confusion in the air defence, allowing frontman Coleman to slide the ball over the goal line to open the scoring. The Lions pressed ahead with their advantage and could have been 2 or 3 up. In the following 20 minutes, it was only excellent goalkeeping by Charlton's Molyneux which saved the home side as he pulled off a couple of flying saves and free kicks by Alfie Massey. Frontman Hearn was a hair's breadth away from converting, and Oliver Evans crossed into the box before it was Hearn again, minutes later being denied by the keeper as his effort was pushed wide of the upper right. On the half-hour mark, the woodwork came into Charlton's aid once again as the Lions' free kick swept in by Jack Howland crashed onto the upright and away to safety. During this first 45 minutes, the Mill defensive goalkeeper George Evans, we got a young goalkeeper called George Evans, stood particularly firm and were equal to anything that the whole home side conjured up. Mill started the second half in similar fashion as they had started the first. Relentless pressure on the home defence, which saw Finley Cotton's free kick heading for the back of the net, deflected away by a defender. This stopper beaten. Callum Donaldson then glided past 2 defenders, only to see his goal-bound effort smuggled away by a combination of defender and keeper. By the 70th minute, it was somewhat of a surprise that with the Mill pressure lines were not further ahead, but the second goal eventually came in the 75th minute when midfielder Josh Stevenson was unceremoniously brought down in the Charlton 18-yard box. The inevitable penny kick was fired home by centre forward Hearn. The Lions now 2 goals to the good, continue to play up to the final whistle, looking for a third. Next up for Mill's under 18s is a home game with Watford on Saturday the 28th of January. And the team was as follows: George Evans, Oliver Evans, Ologbodi, Massey, Cheeseman, Stevenson, Cotton, Howland, Hayward, sub of 77 minutes, Hearn, Coleman, Donaldson, Baker on as a sub for Coleman on 83 minutes, and McKay on for Evans, Oliver Evans on the 65th minute. The subs not used are Prozri Nodgeman. There you go. Under 18s doing pretty well. That's an important win. I'll tell you why, because I should have pulled it up, but let's hope this works because we're doing it live. We are doing it live. So here we go, under 18s. Go to matches, go to that, go to table. Here you go. So, we're now second on goal difference against Charlton. So that was a game, must-win game. For them to stay in the hunt for whatever they're hunting for. I think it's similar to the under-21s. I think they've got to finish in the top 2. I'm not too sure. But Cardiff City below them have 2 games in hand and they're only 2 points behind. So it could all come undone, but they do get a chance to play Cardiff City. So again, that will be an important game. But next up is Watford. So there you go. And on that note, I'm going to finish the video and rest my voice. Thank you for watching and goodbye.